Take a look at what happened here. Here is Stuck down to the inside. That is the black car of Rick Mears on the outside. They come into contact. Hurley Haywood is about to come through with no place to go. That is Cale Yarborough up the middle and getting through. Stopping, coming almost to a stop, was the Jochen Moss car, and getting just trapped was Hurley Haywood.
You know, it's amazing, Ken, that the oval track drivers are up the first 6 places here. The road racers are having all the trouble here at the Mid-Ohio Twisting Circuit. I'm really surprised.
Following week will be in Detroit. Formula One World Championship competition, all here on CBS. Unser Jr. Lead is now 3 7/10 of a second. You can see it visually closing up here as Rahal takes one last shot. That yellow car way in the back of your picture, that's Harry Gant. He is now accumulated the 6th spot, and the span continues to shorten up between first and second. Rahal, who, as they said earlier, knows this course better than anyone, has turned more laps here. The man that Jim Truman turned loose on this track when he was just a kid to learn how to get it done. And my, what a job Rahal has done this year, winning the big one in such grand style.
Here to go. And look at Bill Elliott now is drawing a bead on his weekly rival in the NASCAR stock car races, Darrell Waltrip. Jay Signori, who puts these cars together, is going to have some body work to do. A lot of the cars have got minor scars on the sides from that infighting that occurred early in the going.
3 7/10 of a second between first and second. A word from Ned Jarrett.
I think it boils down now to the driver who has conserved his tires the best. Of course, this is one of the toughest tracks that they race on to pass on, and I got a feeling that we're going to see some fender rubbing if there is any passing, and I believe there will be.
Time running out. Down to the finish on this one, 28 complete. Getting down to checkered flag time. Leave a lap to go this time by. White flag is out. Al Unser Jr. in front. Rahal in second. Waltrip third. Bill Elliott is fourth. Al Unser Sr. in fifth from dead last. Here they are into turn one. Under the bridge. Now headed uphill slightly. Into the keyhole. And Rahal draws away from Waltrip, but Elliott closes in. Last lap.
Elliott may just try that move. He certainly would know where he wants to make it.
Downhill off that slight negative camber turn. Long straightaway here. Flat foot right through this corner. You never live.
Fastest section of the course.
Down for the S's. Al Unser Jr. has dominated it. We're going to have a new winner in the International Race of Champions. It's going to be 24-year-old Al Unser Jr. Interval down to 2 8/10 of a second. Rahal isn't quitting. There's the interval another time. Rahal drawing away, leaving Waltrip and Elliott back there to decide what they want to do about third and fourth. Last lap. Total domination today for Al Unser Jr. In fact, for the Unser family, superlative performance by his dad out of the rear of the field. Around the carousel turn for the final time. Headed down in front of the pits. Start-finish line area coming up. Checkered flag is down. Al Unser Jr. has won round 2 of the International Race of Champions. Elliott closes up on Waltrip as they come across the line, but couldn't get by him. So Rahal is in second, Waltrip third, Elliott fourth, Al Unser Sr. in fifth. We'll be back to meet the winners after these messages.
On the right of the screen, Scott Pruitt next to him. As they come across the start-finish line, Al Unser Sr. trying to make a move on the inside into turn one. Andretti in front of Unser Sr. And there go 1, 2, 3 cars onto the infield, including Pruitt and the 2 red cars of Unser and Bell. 3 cars onto the dirt, precipitated by the inside move of Al Unser.
That's what we predicted could possibly happen, Jim. If
Have a shot there, possibly, at Derek Bell. He's up inside Bell. You see, he's made Bell spin. Unbelievable. Scott Pruitt just, now he's, you can see that sudden, violent moment. He really, Bobby, wouldn't you say, he pushed it too hard too soon?
Sam, I don't think they touched, though. They might have. We might find that, but I really don't think they touched. I think it was just a deal that...
Well, there's a mark, though, on the front of Bell's car. I'm sorry, Pruitt's car. Let's have another look. I would say that they did touch right there, wouldn't you, as you look at it again now,
yes,
Bobby?
Yes, they did. Well, Bell started losing it first, and then Scott had no place to go, so he actually didn't spin him out the way I see it. Looks like Bell just flat lost it. What happened was, as Pruitt lucked up the hole that Bell was going to go into.
Idea of how it all started. Unser Sr. making the inside move in the red car number, then the contact with the left rear of Scott Pruitt's car, both of them spinning onto the grass, and Bell in the red car number 11 had to go farther onto the infield just to get by. And
here we go. A spin. Gray Hall trying to, no, Waltrip, I'm sorry, trying to outbreak. It looks like Al Unser Jr. Came to grief at the end of the long straightaway.
He's going to get back on the course, but Darrell Waltrip almost got an early start toward his flight to Indianapolis.
Right on his tail suddenly, and Pruitt is another man. Mario has spun. Mario Andretti in the yellow car here has spun. They're all Camaros. I was going to say Pruitt, too, is flying to and from. He's racing out in Portland, Oregon this weekend where he has the pole. He's coming back and forth. Mario gets past. I mentioned at the emphasize the seriousness of it, but Mario is not really himself. There's the spin of Bill Elliott.
And 3 cars spun out on the same lap, Sam. So conditions are becoming increasingly precarious here at Mid-Ohio, and you have to believe that the drivers are well aware that the track is slick. Bobby Rahal, who is all over Andretti, pressuring him, trying to force a mistake. Wally Dallenbach continues in 3rd place, and now Michael Fishtails to the inside of the track, and Rahal is able to get by. One mistake right there, and there goes Dallenbach trying for 2nd place. Andretti fights back, and what local knowledge can mean in this situation.
By the way, the car, I agree with you completely, Jim. The car you saw going off in the back was Al Unser Jr.
Main in the hunt for the Iroc championship. But this has been an unpredictable race. Very different from previous Iroc road races at Mid-Ohio, which have been dominated by just a few cars from the front of the grid. In this one, almost anything can happen.
Here is Pruitt, and you know, again, I had the opportunity to drive this car yesterday, and seeing again the point of view from Pruitt with Waltrip ahead and Mario Andretti ahead of that just reminds me of how tough the steering was. These are very, very heavy steering cars, and I wonder if it's just possible that these guys might be getting a little tired at this stage. And you know, you see Waltrip, he's not driving a smooth line. He's all over the road.
That's the car in the road loose, Sam. You can't car Darrell.
Oh, there goes Darrell Waltrip right into the guardrail. And Waltrip over the hill as he went right past the guardrail. You can see officials racing for it. He's moving around in there, and I think Darrell, as an early guess, is probably going to be okay.
He was running 9th when that happened, under pressure, of course, from Pruitt. Pruitt has been the catalyst for an awful lot of action and trouble on this racetrack.
I agree.
We're very lucky.
Drive very nice and very easy.
Meanwhile, look at the yellow car of Mario Andretti. You know, he has a spectacular record in Iroc road races in the past. This is the 10th time he's been
Pruitt
never
again,
finished lower than
Jim.
4th, and there goes Scott Pruitt. Absolutely. Guess what? How many times for Pruitt now?
Kind of pressure on it.
Michael is having a freakier and freakier ride now as he tries to hold off Little Al with 1 lap to go.
Little Al's got to try it really hard. This is the last lap. But, Sam, that's an indication of the brakes locking up of what you said earlier. They're heavy cars. These guys drive these cars to about 110% of their capabilities. Not saying anything bad about the cars because they're fine race cars. It's just that they are 3,500-pound cars. The brakes catch holy heck sometimes.
Oh, they're terrific cars. All right, now, with only about 3/4 of a lap to go, really, Little Al has maybe 2, 3 serious opportunities left to make a pass. And he's obviously thinking as hard as he can in there. Michael's going to try to keep him at bay. 3rd place may not seem like that much. It could be the decider down the road and who wins the Iroc championship.
Isn't it fascinating to note that we might be looking forward to about 25 years of this kind of racing between Michael Andretti and Al Unser Jr.?
By golly, they should. Jim, they're both fine race drivers. They're both young. They have a great future ahead of them. Many, many good years that they could be looking at. And there's Rahal, quite a bit out in front right now. Come from both, not going to make a mistake. There's young Wally, who's done a very good job behind him, quite a ways behind. No possible passes coming there without Ray Hall making a mistake. There's the race. Third and fourth place. Little Michael, or Michael Andretti, little Al Unser. That's the race right now, Jim.
And Bobby Rahal in the lead was third in the International Racing Champions Series in '85, seventh a year ago. The only time he ever won a race in the series, it was here at Mid-Ohio 2 years ago. He was second here last year, and here he comes for the checkered flag. Dallenbach is going to be satisfied with second place, and Michael Andretti is going to hold off Al Unser Jr. to finish third. There he goes. Al makes the pass. Just a little bit too late.
He just waves to him. He knows he got held off, and that is a pretty neat show.
They both did a good job. They both drove very hard, and it ended up being very clean competition between the two of them.
And a very big day for young Wally Dallenbach at 24 years old. He demonstrated a very cool head all day long, and I think he's come away with a lot of credit.
Meanwhile, you think the other drivers are going to continue to show up to race against Rahal at Mid-Ohio, or will they just send congratulatory notes in the future?
Well, you know, Jim, they all had a chance, or I shouldn't say all of them, but a bunch of them had a chance to beat Bobby Rahal here today. It was really their own mistakes is what let Rahal win the race, or put the guys where they just couldn't be up in front of him.
Strong emotional content when Bobby Rahal wins a race here at Mid-Ohio, the track that has been improved so much by his former sponsor, Jim Truman, who died a year ago.
So Bobby Rahal held off Wally Dallenbach Jr., Michael Andretti, and Al Unser Jr. to win this race.